Hi, my name is Alyssa Lieberman, and today we're going to be talking about cellular respiration. Cellular respiration is when two sugars are broken down to be used for energy. It takes in oxygen, which is an aerobic respiration, and transforms into ATP, which is a chemical energy. The chemical equation for cellular respiration is right here, and it is glucose plus 6 molecules of oxygen turn into 6 carbon dioxide molecules and 6 water molecules and energy, or ATP. Glucose is what's needed to kickstart cellular respiration. Before it enters, it resides in the cytoplasm. Although glucose wants to enter, it is too big, so a process called glycolysis must take place. Glucose splits into 2 molecules called pyruvates, which can both enter the mitochondria. This is all taking place in the cytoplasm. Pyruvates are the molecules that enter the mitochondria. They enter into the matrix. Pyruvates were produced as a result of glycolysis, which is the process of breaking glucose apart. Then one carbon is removed and electrons are stripped, which creates NADH. Glycolysis is the process that begins cellular respiration. It takes place outside of the mitochondria. It breaks down glucose in the cytoplasm, creating 2 pyruvates able to enter the mitochondria. Glycolysis requires the use of enzymes and ATP as an energy source to help cut glucose in half. Glycolysis takes place because glucose is too big to be able to enter the mitochondria. The cytoplasm are located in all eukaryotic cells. Glycolysis and fermentation, which are both anaerobic respirations, take place in the fluid portion of the cytoplasm. Glycolysis produces 2 ATPs and 2 NADPs. Fermentation generates NADs. ATP is used and produced in the respiration that is going to be used to provide energy to separate glucose in glycolysis. ATP is produced during ATP synthase. ATP synthase takes building blocks of ATP and phosphate groups and energy from moving hydrogen ions and then creates ATP. The inner membrane, also known as the cristae, is mostly made up of a phospholipid bilayer. It's located in the mitochondria, and it's where electron transport chain takes place. Also, it's where hydrogen molecules build up to help produce ATP. The electron transport chain is located in the inner membrane of the mitochondria. This is where electrons are transported from one carrier to the next. Where hydrogen ions are pumped across the inner membrane, it creates a high hydrogen ion concentration, which causes the ions to flow through a turbine to get the end result of a lot more ATP. NADH originates from NAD+, which is the oxidized form. It can pick up electrons. Once it does, it has a negative charge and it attracts a positive charge and gets hydrogen. And now you have NADH. This molecule acts as a shuttle for electrons. It delivers electrons and drops them off in the electron transport chain. NADH helps with the process of glycolysis. when two NADHs provide energy to convert pyruvate into lactic acid. As the NADH is used, it is converted back into NAD+. The role of fermentation is simply to provide glycolysis with a steady supply of NAD+. FAD2, fulvin-adenine dinucleotide, is a redox cofactor, meaning it helps enzymes catalyze a reaction. It is utilized during the last part of respiration. The electron transport chain FADH2 is formed from the oxidized version of FAD, and it accepts 2 electrons and 2 hydrogen atoms to form FADH2. This molecule generates 2 ATP molecules. FADH and NADH transport electrons to the electron transport chain. The Krebs cycle is when 2 carbon chain is broken down and it releases carbon dioxide. In addition, some electrons are taken by electron carriers, and 2 ATPs are produced from each molecule of glucose. The matrix is part of the mitochondria and it is where the Krebs cycle takes place. The matrix is located in the middle of the mitochondria, is enclosed between the cristae, or inner membrane. CO2 is created during acyl-CoA formation. When one carbon is removed from the molecule, it forms carbon dioxide as a byproduct during the Krebs cycle. The 6 carbon chain is recently formed is partially broken down, which releases carbon dioxide. Shortly after, several electrons are captured by electron carriers and more carbon dioxide is released. The carbon dioxide that we exhale and come from cellular respiration.